What's up, beautiful people of Earth? My name is Brother Daniel. Welcome to Conscious Hustle. Today, despite my inclinations to ramble on, I will do my best to be brief. I hope this finds you in good health and high spirits. I want to talk to you about the so-called elites. The so-called elites that run the world. Now, when you picture the word elite, you might associate it with the mega wealthy, the deeply entrenched Illuminati, the people who hold sway and influence either in a massive and obvious way or in a massive and subversive way. And there is a penetrating narrative that seems to have swept over everything regarding the power of the elites and how they be running things around this piece. But I am here to tell you that that is all false. It is not true. And I would like to break it down for you as briefly as I can so this message has the most significant amount of potency. Let's take a look at the word elite. When you say the elite run the world, what the fuck do you mean by elite? Well, generally people mean that those people that they are referring to as elite are at the high levels of finance. They are heavily capitalized. They have a lot of money. They control politics. They control media. They control advertising and a number of systems that are associated with those things. Then the rest of us groundlings feel a little bit butthurt that we are not at the high levels of finance, media, advertising, politics, thus enforcing the importance of politics, finance, media, advertising by using the word elite. That's not elite. And the control of political structures, finance, advertising, and marketing in a nutshell has very little to do with life. Very, 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 very little to do with actual life unless we choose it to be the case. So, those intelligent bodies, the so-called elites, know this, and those who don't consider themselves to be elites don't. What it is a control over the consciousness. And in a nutshell, it doesn't matter that much at all. So there's a giant narrative about the white man being in control of corporate America and not giving a fair shake to women or black men or transgenders. Who the fuck wants to be in control of corporate America? Why is that a battlefield that we're fighting for? Take that shit. If somebody else wants to take control of it, I mean, if I would take, I jumped out. But if you had a white man who was knowledgeable about this and was in control of corporate America and he was a good-hearted person, he might see the black man coming, the transgendered person coming, the woman coming and say, yo, turn back, it's a trap. This is not a honeypot. This is not a prize. It's a fucking illusion. It's an illusion that we are giving power to. So we're sitting here arguing about who does or does not have control over these systems that have little importance in actual life. Where they do have grand importance is in the illusion that we've signed into. The illusion that we are not going to die. But you can say, hey, well, it's deeply important and it deeply affects my life who controls the money because they control where I live. And I can't afford a house. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. You can afford to be alive. Maybe not in the house that's part of the illusion. And you might have to lose your life because of where you live or who wants to force you in and out of where you live. But that has never been different over the course of reality. That's how animals live, and we are animals. We're divine, absolutely, but we're animals. If there was no political organized structure, we're still animals that live and die. Does that make sense to you guys? So we've been, when we're living in a symbiotic balance with this reality, life and death is the cost. Absolutely, to have a glimpse of time where the absolute nature of time allows us to pause and reflect and experience it in 3D. The cost is life and death. Why does it matter who's running the media? Why does it matter who's running advertising? Why does it matter who's running the political systems? Why does it matter who is running the schools? Why does it matter? It generally matters because there is a subconscious thought in the back of our minds that we are going to somehow break into the control groups, that we are somehow going to cheat death, that if we just buy in long enough, if we tuck our tail long enough, then we'll either slip under the radar or we will somehow cheat death. We will somehow win the lottery instead of falling victim to our terrible spending habits. We will somehow, instead of jumping into the life we want, we'll hump a desk for 40 years under a fluorescent light and somehow be able to cheat death if we just draw the timeline out long enough. So what this has done is the buying into this illusion has actually expanded the human lifespan, for sure. Because it feels like, if I'm speculating, when people weren't buying into this illusion as much, people died a lot quicker. But guess the length of our timeline is analogous to how big a factory farm chicken is. Now, quantitatively, you could say that's better. It's more chicken for less input. But for the person who's eating it, is that toxicity actually better? Is that longer timeline actually better? Is the quantity of a longer life outliving the quality of life? You know what I feel are intrinsic and important values? Family, friendship, connection, physical health, sun rays, grass, trees, entertainment brought through music and joy vibrations. And please, don't let me get it confused. I'm sitting here on the internet. I just watched some Netflix last night. I'm bought into the illusion just like you, and maybe even twice as much because I'm aware that this specific illusion is going on. I'm still in. So that's the next defense. Well, Daniel, you're doing it too, so let me reject it. No, I'm doing it. I'm worse than you, for sure. But the elites aren't elite and don't run the world. If there are a group of people who are in conspiracy with each other that are worthy of calling elites, so-called elites, they run perception because they have given you an option for reality that's almost as shiny as love and God. And by God, I don't mean also boom, boom. There you go. Perception goes again. What do you mean, God? You're because of this group of people probably naturally imaging images of the Catholic Church, whether or not you're Catholic, right? Images of God painted on the Sistine Chapel. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a certain vibrational frequency. They run the perception in this illusion matrix, but the entire battery, the engine required to propel this matrix is you. You. Here's what the so-called elite also do. They give us a whipping boy for us to push all of our darkness off onto. So when we're talking about bringing this reality back home into where we sit, they don't run the capitalist markets. You do. They don't torture, suffocate, kill people, and rob them of their natural resources. You do. You are they. You are they. The illusion that has been created that the elites are on top of, that makes it seem as if politics, money, marketing, entertainment are the pinnacles of existence, the absolute pinnacles of existence, are fucking breathtakingly beautiful. Amazing. So remarkable and beautiful that they are almost as beautiful as God. But if you are only almost as beautiful as God, you might as well be a gajillion miles away. Because almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. You either are or you aren't that vibration. And if you aren't, there ain't nothing you can do. Nothing you can do to change that. Now, if you wanted to simulate the energies of loving God, it's going to have you running in a fucking circle because you got to stay up 24 hours a day to even attempt to misdirect the eyes, wills, hearts of the people away from God. That's a full-time job. Look at the sun. Look at the sun. To combat the sun is a 24-hour job. And it's all falling apart. There are no elites. And I highly recommend and request that we stop using this word, elite, when we are describing the so-called elites that run this world. Because the subtext and the underscoring of this message is that to be elite is to be in charge of the capital markets is elite, to be in charge of marketing and advertising is elite, to be in charge of large-scale media and entertainment is elite, to be in charge of politics and prisons is elite. Why is that elite? That sounds like some dork shit. Who the fuck wants to do that? That sounds terrible. And guess what? It doesn't just sound terrible, it is terrible. Everybody who reaches the pinnacles of those places hates their life. They don't like it. They don't. That's where depression is. That's where suicide is. You think you want to be a famous Hollywood actor, like super famous, like Johnny Depp? He can't leave his house. He's an alcoholic trapped who can't leave his house. You think you want to be the president of whatever era? How terrible is that? You can't use the bathroom without somebody watching you. You are in the cage of cages. Why is that elite? Why is it elite to be some blue-blooded dude sitting in a castle with the family all buttoned and laced up in high chairs at a dinner table? Man, I'm be eating some rice with an overhand fork grip like a fucking caveman and loving it. There are no elites. You are elite. You are the gods and goddesses, the high fractals of the Almighty, the kings and queens of the third dimension, the most magnificent thing or system, as far as we know, that we have ever known, that there ever has been. You are so valuable, so valuable. So perhaps instead of asking yourself, why are the elites running this world, perhaps ask yourself why you, my friend, are valuable enough to siphon energy from. You think the cows in a slaughterhouse look at the people about to slaughter them like they're the elites? Probably. Probably so. This has been Daniel with Conscious Hustle. I hope this finds you well. And I hope that you consider this. When I bring up these different times in history, ancient Egypt, Rome, the Old West, the migration from Europe to North America, the Crusades, the Ice Age, and things of this nature, you are likely picturing, people in chariots, people in Senate caucuses, pharaohs sitting on the top of steps. It's not what history looks like. History looks like a dude looking at the sky. Looking at the sky. But our history has been painted as if it is interwoven with these power structures. That the history of mankind is the history of politics, entertainment, capital markets, and media. The history of mankind is a dude looking at the sky, talking to his family, eating a sandwich. I hope this finds you all in good health and high spirits. I hope that you do not disempower yourselves to a detrimental level while empowering that system that chooses to siphon on you like a battery. And I also hope you stay warm. It's cold out here in these streets. That's what weather do. Lots of love. Peace.